All right, so you're curious about what modern EV makers are collecting data-wise.
Where?
What can they learn from it?
Yeah.
We'll buckle up. We're going deep on this. We've got some notes from someone who's planning a new EV product,
Oh.
and it's fascinating. Um, they're looking at everything
Yeah.
from how you drive every day
Mm-hmm.
to, like, how many times you open your car door,
Oh,
what gadgets you've got nearby, and even, like, lifestyle stuff, and even potential, like, health trends.
It is incredible the breadth of information they're gathering.
Yeah.
It really paints a picture of not just your driving style, but like your life
Yeah,
in general.
for sure. And it's not just broad strokes either.
Right.
I mean, this source gets into the nitty-gritty details.
Okay.
Like, they're tracking how many times you go to specific stores.
Wow.
Doesn't that feel a little, like, too personal?
Well, I think of it this way. It's taking targeted advertising to like a whole new level.
Okay.
So if they can understand consumer behavior
Right.
through this data,
Uh.
then it opens up possibilities for tailored promotions, suggesting new services, even predicting what you might buy next.
Okay, so it goes beyond knowing your favorite grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
This source also talks about using your driving style
Okay.
for things like mapping your routines and even figuring out, like, your family and social connections.
Exactly. It's all about recognizing patterns.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say you regularly drive to the same school
Yeah.
at certain times.
Mhm.
That kind of suggests a parent-child relationship.
Right.
Or imagine like a bunch of EVs meeting up at charging stations regularly.
Okay.
That could indicate the start of a whole driving community
Yeah.
or even lead to new ride-sharing services.
Well, it's really something else seeing those connections emerge from simple driving data.
Yeah.
But obviously, all of this raises some serious questions about privacy.
Oh, absolutely. Transparency and getting consent from users is crucial.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just collect this level of data without a solid ethical framework
Right.
to protect privacy and data security.
Definitely. Now, let's get into something a little more straightforward.
Oh, okay.
Charging behavior.
All right.
The source mentions looking at how people are using charging stations
Right.
and their overall energy consumption.
Mm-hmm.
Seems pretty basic at first glance. Wow.
On the surface, yeah. But when you dig deeper, think about how this information could revolutionize charging infrastructure.
Oh, okay.
So imagine a system that can predict peak charging times
Yeah.
and then dynamically adjust electricity rates to even things out,
Wow.
or even recommend alternative charging locations to avoid overcrowding.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And it gets even cooler when we talk about predictive maintenance.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Using data to figure out when a car might need service before a problem even pops up.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Could save a lot of headaches down the road.
The source specifically mentions predicting component wear.
Uh-huh.
So are we talking about a future where our cars can tell us they need a tune-up before we even notice something's wrong?
That's the direction things are heading. This level of proactive maintenance could lead to a huge leap in safety and reliability.
Yeah.
Saves everyone time and money.
It's almost like your car becomes like this intelligent sidekick,
Yeah.
anticipating your needs
Right.
and keeping you in the loop.
Absolutely.
But this source goes even further, venturing into some really unexpected territory.
Okay.
They talk about using driving data to assess stress levels
Wow.
and even offer personalized wellness recommendations.
That's where things get really exciting.
Yeah.
This is still a developing field, but imagine the possibilities.
Okay.
We could have safety features that adapt to a driver's emotional state,
Oh, wow.
or even personalized wellness apps that suggest taking a break based on driving patterns.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
They can tell if you're stressed just from how you drive.
Yeah.
How reliable is that?
It's still early days, but research suggests that things like sudden speed changes,
Okay.
hard braking, or aggressive acceleration
Mm-hmm.
can be indicators of stress. By analyzing these patterns, it might be possible to create systems that give you real-time feedback or even step in to prevent accidents caused by distracted or stressed driving.
That's both incredibly cool and a little unnerving.
Yeah.
It feels like we're stepping into a sci-fi movie where our cars know us better than we know ourselves.
There's no denying the potential here, but as we discussed, there are some serious ethical considerations.
Right.
It's all about finding the right balance between the benefits of this technology
Mm-hmm.
and our right to privacy and personal autonomy.
Absolutely. Now, shifting gears a bit,
Okay.
the source also touches on environmental impact assessment.
Yeah.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Calculating emissions reduction and providing feedback To encourage eco-driving, right?
While the concept might seem simple, the implications are huge.
Okay.
Imagine if we could use this data to encourage people to adopt more eco-friendly driving habits through things like gamification or rewards programs. We could even use it to showcase the collective positive impact that EVs are having
Right.
on the environment globally.
I like that, especially when you tie it back to the idea of personalized promotions.
Right.
Like if companies know where you go and what you do,
Yeah.
they can target you with offers that really align with your lifestyle and values.
Exactly. It's about creating a more personalized and engaging user experience.
Yeah.
So instead of generic advertising, imagine receiving discounts on eco-friendly products
Okay.
based on your proven commitment to sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
That's a powerful incentive.
So to sum it all up, we've got everything from super targeted ads
Yeah.
and personalized services
Right?
to predictive maintenance and even the possibility of cars that can sense our stress levels.
It's amazing.
It feels like you're already living in the future.
And we're just getting started.
Wow.
The potential applications of this data are vast.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just improving the driving experience.
Mhm.
It's about creating a smarter, more sustainable, and potentially even healthier future.
For everyone, we've
Yeah.
covered a lot of ground already, but there's still so much more to explore.
Absolutely.
We'll continue to unpack the complexities of this brave new world of EV data
Mm-hmm.
and what it could mean for us all.
Yeah. It's fascinating to think about how this EV data could reshape everything
Yeah.
from personalized services to the way we design our cities.
Mm-hmm.
But it's equally important to remember the potential downsides.
Right.
Like the flip side of this data-driven coin.
Right. All this data collection obviously has some risks.
Yeah.
The source really stresses user consent transparency
Mm-hmm.
and keeping that data secure.
Absolutely. And these aren't just trendy buzzwords. We're
Yeah.
talking about very personal information that could be misused
Right.
or exploited if it's not handled responsibly.
So when we talk about responsible data management in this context,
Yeah.
what does that actually look like?
Well, it all starts with clear and comprehensive privacy policies. Users need to know exactly what data is being collected, how it's being used, and who has access to it.
Right.
No surprises, no hidden agendas.
The source mentions giving users the option to opt out of data collection.
Right.
Is that enough to address these privacy concerns?
Opting out is a good starting point,
Okay.
but it shouldn't be the only option.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, users should have granular control over their data,
Okay.
allowing them to choose exactly which types of information they're comfortable sharing.
That makes sense. But even with strong privacy policies and user controls,
Yeah.
there's always the risk of data breaches.
So you're absolutely right. Data security is paramount.
Yeah.
EV manufacturers need to invest heavily in robust cybersecurity measures to protect user data from unauthorized access or theft.
Right.
It's a critical piece of the puzzle.
And what about the potential for bias creeping into the algorithms that analyze this data?
Yeah.
If the data sets are skewed in some way, it could lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes, couldn't it?
That's a valid concern. Algorithm bias is a real issue,
Yeah.
and it needs to be addressed through careful data collection and analysis,
Right.
along with ongoing monitoring and evaluation to
Yeah.
make sure things stay fair and impartial.
It sounds like EV manufacturers have a huge responsibility on their shoulders when it comes to handling all this data.
The stakes are high, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The way they manage this data will have a major impact on the future of transportation
Right.
and on society as a whole.
Okay. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the more futuristic applications of this technology.
All right.
The source mentions something called vehicle-to-everything communication, or V2X.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
D2X allows vehicles to communicate with each other and with infrastructure like traffic lights and road signs.
Okay.
Imagine a world where cars can talk to each other,
Wow.
share information about road conditions, and even coordinate their movements
Okay.
to make driving safer and more efficient.
Hold on. So my car could actually communicate with other cars,
Yeah.
like some kind of social network for vehicles.
Exactly. It's a bit like a social network for cars,
Right.
where they can share information in real time
Yeah.
to improve safety and traffic flow.
That sounds amazing, but also raises some concerns about potential hacking
Yeah.
or malicious interference.
Security is a crucial consideration for any connected system.
Right.
V2X technology has to be built with robust encryption
Okay.
and authentication protocols to prevent unauthorized access or manipulation. The security aspect can't be overstated.
Okay. So we've got talking cars.
Yeah.
What else is on the horizon?
Well, the source also delves into autonomous driving features,
Okay.
which are advancing rapidly thanks to the massive amount of data
Mhm.
being collected by EVs.
So self-driving cars are no longer just a futuristic fantasy.
Not at all. They're being tested and refined right now
Wow.
on roads all over the world. And they're going to get even more sophisticated as data collection and analysis capabilities
Right.
continue to improve.
But what about the ethical implications of self-driving cars?
Yeah,
Like, who's responsible if an accident happens involving a self-driving car?
those are complex questions that society needs to grapple with as this
Mhm.
technology matures.
Right.
We need clear legal frameworks and ethical guidelines to ensure safety and accountability as we move into this uncharted territory.
It feels like we're on the verge of a major technological revolution,
Yeah.
but we're still figuring out the rules of the road for this new era.
That's a great way to put it. We're venturing into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
And it's important to proceed with caution,
Mm.
taking into account both the potential benefits and the potential risks
Right.
of these incredible advancements.
We certainly covered a lot of ground,
Yeah.
but it feels like we've only scratched the surface of this topic. Now let's shift our focus to the specific types of data points EV manufacturers are collecting
Okay.
and what they're hoping to learn from all this information.
Mhm.
So we talked about the potential and challenges of EV data. It's kind of like a sci-fi movie where our cars know us inside and out.
Right.
But let's get specific.
Okay.
What kind of data are they tracking?
Well, the notes here cover a pretty extensive list.
Okay.
It starts with the basics like GPS data,
Mm-hmm.
how often you take trips where you're going.
Right.
But then it gets really interesting.
Fun.
They're looking at things like how often you open your car doors,
Oh, wow.
which in-car features you use,
Okay.
and even what other devices are nearby.
Tracking door openings.
Yeah.
It seems like they're really trying to get a complete picture
Mm-hmm.
of your life, not just your time on the road.
It's about understanding the bigger picture of your behavior.
Okay.
So let's say the data shows you frequently have passengers getting in and out
Yeah.
at certain locations.
Mm-hmm.
That could give them insights into your carpooling habits
Right.
or family routines.
Okay. I see how that could be useful
Mm-hmm.
for understanding usage patterns.
Right.
But tracking what devices are nearby
Yeah.
still feels a bit too intrusive.
Well, it's all about creating a personalized ecosystem.
Okay.
So imagine your car knows you're always near a certain coffee shop.
Yeah.
It could then offer you a discount
Okay.
or even let you pre-order your usual drink for a quick pickup.
All right. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
But it still feels like a delicate balance between convenience and privacy.
absolutely. Transparency and user control are key here.
Right.
You should always have the option to opt out of data collection
Yeah.
or limit what information is being shared.
Speaking of sharing,
Yeah.
the source also mentions collecting data on your driving style,
Right.
like how you accelerate, brake, and even how you steer.
This data can be incredibly valuable for assessing driving habits
Okay.
and identifying potential safety risks.
Mm-hmm.
So think of a system that can detect aggressive driving
Right.
and provide feedback or even intervene to help prevent accidents.
They even talk about monitoring seat occupancy sensors
Right.
to know how many passengers are in the car.
That's right. This data can help them understand usage patterns, like
Yeah.
whether you often carpool or
Right.
take family trips.
Right.
It could also be used to optimize things like climate control
Right?
or entertainment systems
Yeah.
based on how many people are in the car.
So they're tracking where we go, what we do, how we drive, who we're with. What else could they possibly be collecting?
The list goes on.
Wow.
They're gathering data on vehicle health and diagnostics,
Yeah.
environmental interactions, how you use the infotainment system,
Huh?
even how you engage with safety features.
Wow. It's like they're building a complete digital profile
Right.
of each car and driver.
In a way, yes, this data can be used to improve everything.
Yeah.
From the car's performance and safety
Okay.
to the overall customer experience and even contribute to sustainability efforts.
But it also brings us back to those big questions
Yeah.
about privacy and data ownership.
You're absolutely right. Responsible data management is crucial.
Right.
We need clear regulations and strong privacy protections,
Yeah.
as well as open discussions about the ethical implications of this technology.
It's a lot to consider as we enter this new era of data-driven transportation.
Yeah, it is.
So what's the key takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the key takeaway is that the future of driving is being shaped by data.
Hmm.
It has incredible potential to revolutionize the way we get around,
Right.
But it also comes with great responsibility.
Yeah.
As drivers, we need to stay informed and engaged in the conversation about how this data is collected, used, and protected.
Because in the end, it's our data, our privacy, and our future on the line.
Exactly.
This deep dive has been fascinating.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think how much is happening behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
every time we get behind the wheel of an EV.
Yeah.
It's definitely given us a lot to think about.
Absolutely. The possibilities are endless.
Oh, yeah.
But we need to approach them with a critical eye, ensuring that this incredible technology is used for good
Mm-hmm.
and that our privacy is respected every step of the way.